You got to have some balance. Balance is always needed in the force.
So why the scale slipper?
You know?
That's why I got to bring back the balance.
And
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we're live. It's Ted Hicks from Late Night Parents, the Ways to Follow the Show, latenightparents.com. In the queue tonight, we got Mr. B. Mr. B, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Ready to go, man. How y'all doing?
Pretty good. Hope you had a good week. Tony D, how you doing?
It's good, man. What's happening?
Tony D, like, where's the energy? Where's an eventful week or uneventful week?
Oh, it's been eventful. Don't get me wrong. It's been eventful. I dare say I'm only halfway through with the weekend. I got ahead as well, so
Got it.
rolling with the punches.
Chopstick Nunchucks. Brian TX, what's going on?
It's going good, guys. Going good. Excited for Saturday.
I got to bring that up. Oh, God. Y'all check.
Yo, before we talk football, before we talk divisional round, before we talk combat sports, before we talk tech, and before we hit some type of parenting related topic, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but that they had that primary in Iowa, and it was a slam dunk.
Yep.
Next up, New Hampshire.
Landslide.
You got people left and right dropping out. I don't know if they're running out of money or whatever the case is, but if this thing is set up to be part two of what we ran into in 2020, and we know Mike Pence is no longer affiliated with the former president, who do you think he's going to choose as a vice president candidate to run with him?
Well, as we discussed, I mean, everybody's pointing at Vivek, which is a good choice. However, though, I think if you want somebody else to really show them how to run it or whatever, or not afraid of anything, I would just say Carrie Lake from Arizona, and who you mentioned, Kristi Noem of South Dakota. Because, I mean, I don't take Nikki Haley seriously. She just reminds me of an old, like, elementary school teacher, the way she talks and how she carries herself. Chris Christie, dinner's that way, dude. And
Wow.
if I'm pulling at 3%, yeah, exit left. But other than that, I mean, I think Ramaswamy, Kari Lake, and Kristi Noem.
So you don't see DeSantis at all? Too headstrong, too alpha?
No. It's like you're good on Monday Night Raw, but when it comes to pay-per-view, you fall short.
Yeah, that stuff worked in Florida, but it just doesn't. And I think we've been saying this all along. We were like, we don't know if this is going to transcend across the states.
Yeah.
Mr. B, any choices on who you think could be a potential vice president candidate?
Oh, man, I told you, dog. He's going to resurrect Vivek. Vivek left. You know what I mean? Vivek dropped out the race, but I said it. If you're going to take anybody, you're going to take out there, you're going to take the young guy, man. You're going to take the young guy, the guy who seems to have his head straight and his ideas are not that far off. You know what I mean? They're easy, approachable goals. You can go ahead and set those off. He's focused on the proper changes needed right now, things to enforce, things you can let go of. As Brian said, Nikki Haley, not quite feeling Nikki Haley. Haley's been kind of a mixed bag of things, and DeSantis, they let DeSantis just talk to him. I think DeSantis has talked himself out of this run, this presidential run. I think he really has, man. He let his mouth just go too far, and we mentioned it. Whatever he was doing in Florida was fine, but then he took things out the stratosphere. I don't know who was in his ear, and you want to erase history from things, from learning, and all this other nonsense. And you're like, bro, what? So it's like pretty much, man. I don't see him there. I see Vivek, man. Either Vivek or they're gonna resurrect somebody that just you never really thought of being vice president.
Yeah, and also too with Vivek though, a lot of the young crowds they relate more to him. I mean, you look at the Cartier family. He's the one thing I will say about Vivek though, he has gone on every type of podcast, big and small, and starting out.
Yeah,
I applaud him on that. What's up, Peaches?
Sweet Pea, what's good?
Sweet Pea, how you doing?
Man, I thought I hooked my channels up. I ain't hook them up.
But that's one thing I do give credit, and the one thing also too with Vivek, he's been very consistent.
Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly because, like you said, he's been everywhere.
Yeah,
Brian, I'm kind of shocked at you because I think the ultimate vice presidential candidate is Tulsi Gabbard. She touches all the boxes.
She does. As much as I would like Tulsi to be the VP, but would Trump would extend that olive branch? That's the thing.
Would she run with him? Who wants to run with him is my question.
Yeah, because we all know that he's unpredictable and he just spouts and spouts and spouts. But I would love to see Tulsi Gabbard.
Sweet Pea pull the Tony.
Truthfully, I would love Tulsi Gabbard to join, but she has not talked about anything about jumping in or anybody mentioned her for like a VP pick or whatever. But
right,
she's full independent. So
independent. She's over there on Fox News. She's governed. Military experience.
She didn't govern. She was just a congresswoman.
Okay, so
yeah, but she's still actively serving for going on her 21st or 22nd year now.
So she's written bills. I don't know how many were passed, but I think that's the ultimate choice.
Agreed.
I don't know.
But I think if he was going to keep it strictly Republican, then it would be like Carrie Lake or Kristi Noem.
Got it.
As much as I would love Tulsi Gabbard, I'm a big Tulsi Gabbard fan. But if the negotiations were correct and everything else, then yeah, I'd be cool with it. Trump Gabbard, no problem.
Quickly switch to. Don't know if you guys know the language learning app Duolingo.
Never heard of it. Wow.
Yeah, I have it on my phone.
Cuts 10% of its contractors in favor of AI. Are you surprised? Are you shocked? Are you amazed? This is the way of the world. So these contractors, about 10%, were offboarded. Company's spokesperson mentioned this last week. They said we no longer needed as many people to do the type of work some of these contractors were doing. Part of that could be attributed to AI.
There's no part of it to it. It's all about AI. That's all
more
about
job cuts.
That's all about AI. That's evident.
That's evident.
One other thing I do want to note is
where's John Connor?
I know. If you guys have been following Apple and some of the changes that are happening in the EU, the EU is forcing Apple to allow apps to be sideloaded. And it's crazy. You've always been able to do that with Android devices, but Apple's always had that closed ecosystem.
Yeah.
And it also was a huge revenue stream for Apple, because developer creates an app, that developer then has to give 30% of their revenue to Apple.
Right.
Going this side-loaded route, you can get out away from using the Apple Store and stuff like that. So big move. I don't know what this is going to mean, but I'm sure Apple's a like $2-3 trillion company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Choosing to their bottom line and everything else like that. I know we're going to discuss on Belt Kings. I guess just go round robin. There's going to be 4 games.
Yeah.
Who's your picks? Real quick, we'll go in depth on Belt Kings. Ravens, Texans.
Texans all the way. I'm really happy.
Texans.
I'm really stoked.
I was going to take Cleveland over the Texans last week, and the Texans came through. I didn't expect Tampa to beat Philly the way they did. God knows nobody saw the Cowboys losing the way they were supposed to lose. So,
No.
Ravens, Texans. I think I'm going to take Ravens. They got more on the offense.
I'm going to take the Ravens, but I'm rooting for the Texans.
As a rookie squad coming through, they need this. The Texans need this win.
Yeah.
The Texans do need this win straight up. So I hear you on that. I think I'm gonna take the Ravens on this one. Y'all, like I said, I'm gonna put a little stock in Dalvin Cook getting the ball and doing things.
I mean, but also though, like I've been watching it all week. One of my coworkers, he's Baltimore all the way because he's a Ravens fan. But we were talking about it, and he and I were like on the same page. We're like, yeah, you got both top really good defenses, and then the offenses. It's like, you got Lamar Jackson. If you keep him concealed in the pocket, you pretty much got him controlled. But if he breaks out of the pocket, that's where he's the threat, because he's dual. So, and then but then you have, I think, like 2 or 3 key players for the Baltimore overall that are not going to be in the game. That's kind of crucial, but yeah, but a lot of the guys, what's really cool, what I find fascinating, like all the bigger ones, ESPN, NFL, they're all like heavily Falcons, but guys on the lower end, they're all like they're like, yeah, we have a feeling Houston, they're hungry.
They are. Without question.
Yeah, Houston is hungry, man. Houston is hungry. It's just gonna depend on, can you maintain locking down Mr. Jackson,
right,
and force that man to make pass plays over running. You know what I mean? It comes down to stuff like that, pretty much. We seen it a few years ago with one of the greats, Michael Vick, versus the Philadelphia Eagles during their playoffs run. You know what I mean? Before the Eagles got stopped by the Patriots in the Super Bowl. But yeah, we seen that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
If I tend to think if you have a good enough defensive coordinator or defensive-minded coach, you can stop Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it done this season, but I'm going to lean on that.
But and then also too, like on the offense, I mean, like, props to Bobby Slovic. I mean, like, he's creating up, he's working, like working with CJ and all the wide receiving core and the running back. I mean, like, it's the offensive schemes, man. I mean, I'm looking on the telestrator when the guy's trying to break it down. He goes, look how they're doing it. This is like very, very, it's like systematic in a way.
Yeah. I like Stroud for a young guy. His decision-making skills are really on point. That's what we've seen. We've seen the growth of him during the season. His decision-making has been really it's been really on point for him,
I'm just so impressed that he didn't sit on the bench a year, 2 years,
Yeah.
3
No.
years,
No.
right
Yeah.
into the line of fire. That's how you
Yep.
know you got a stud.
And then on top of that, they were saying like, when he was in college, they're like, oh, no quarterback from Ohio State's going to make it big in the pros. Wrong. And then, I mean, even though, it says rookie year, but he's already like setting records. I mean, the rookie quarterback in his rookie year with very low interception. He's already in good company in the 4,000 yard group for the rookie year. So, I mean, like, sky's the limit. But I mean, he's been mentored. He's got great group of guys around him, and they all feed off of each other's energy. So
yeah.
San Francisco, Green Bay.
This is gonna be.
I gotta take the 49ers still.
I gotta take the 49ers too.
Eagles are out running 49ers. Green Bay surprises me. Once again, I got to give Green Bay the respect. They keep making it. I said it before. They keep making it in there. Every time we think they're out, they sneak their asses right back in. I say it like that on purpose. Didn't nobody expecting to be in here right now. The Chiefs will be up top in that division.
What do you say?
I'm going to go with the Packers.
What do you say? I'm going to make another Hove.
Wow.
Yo.
Yeah.
Serious.
Jordan Love's numbers are just like Aaron Rodgers, same time of their career, same time, same team, everything. Big ups to the
Oh, it's a good thing you brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when we chatted, I set the photo how CJ Stroud in that game and Jordan Love, their stats were nearly identical by 2 yards.
But Jordan Love's numbers are just like Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Same time frame in their careers with the same squad. I give you the CJ Stroud number. CJ Stroud showed his ass 100%.
Yeah.
He is rookie of the year. He's rookie of the year. I don't even know who else they're going to put up in there. But Green Bay keeps making it. I don't know and see how. I really can't answer how they keep making. And I said this last season. How the hell they keep getting in there? Now we don't be expecting it. We don't even see it. Because they coming in and they school Dallas.
They make it happen, man. You see, last week they stepped on the gas, never let off.
Yeah,
they didn't.
Never. Off.
Cowboys defense they pretty much tapped out after the first touchdown.
They literally read these dudes. They literally read these dudes to a T.
Yeah, they did.
The first half of that game. That is nightmarish.
They look like how the 49ers did back when they was in the playoffs against the Cowboys. And they got 3 touchdowns in 5 minutes. That's exactly how they looked. I 100% agree.
And what's even more crazy about it, every time they managed to make a touchdown, it was based off a wide open pass or a wide open lane to run. It's like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Because I think what they did was they studied how Buffalo decimated and dissected that defense.
Oh yeah.
Think about it. Think about it. James Cook ran almost 200 yards on him.
Yeah. He made his 200 yards on pass on a receiving and running. Yeah. So pretty much.
I think they studied that tape till everybody got tired. But man, I think they took that as the formula to their success.
That's gonna be a powerful game, man, between those two. I'll tell you that much.
Tampa and Detroit.
Detroit. Detroit.
Yo. I think once again, I talked about this at work. We're not giving Todd Bowles his respect either.
No.
Todd Bowles, that defensive coordinator of all time, damn near. He over the Tampa Bay defense. Tampa Bay gave Philly the business.
I would take Todd Bowles as a defensive coordinator any day.
Yeah, right now we know better than make him a head coach anymore. We know better than that. But defensive coordinator, I mean, I want to take Detroit. I gotta take Detroit, but they in trouble with them Bucks.
That's a shaky game for real.
Baker
I'm rolling with Detroit.
Hurt this game, but he came back.
LA almost took him out last week, man.
Yep.
And LA was supposed to be on the rebuild.
Nah,
think about
LA,
that.
LA. Remember I said before, LA was back to their old self.
Yeah.
Remember I said that before. They there, man. Yo.
Everybody was saying LA was supposed to be on the rebuild, and them boys came back.
But they got problems with them Bucks.
Yeah.
100%. They got a problem with them Bucks.
Yeah.
And Detroit's another hungry team. Imagine the Detroit Texas Super Bowl.
Speaking of which, I saw that on Reddit and I screenshotted it. But yeah, somebody made a banner of Detroit and Houston.
It could happen. It could happen.
That will be money.
These games are that near. These games are that close, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind Texans and Packers because that would just pull you into, yeah. This could be your Brady versus what's his name? Brady versus Manning. You know, this could be one of those type of things. I'm gonna say the game of the week. The Kansas City Chiefs go to Buffalo.
Man,
I'm going with Buffalo.
Buffalo. They will not be denied. They will not be denied.
I can't front. Look like Kansas City can hold their weather, yo. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you let Josh Allen run 49 yards on you for a touchdown.
Yo.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we all know some of these quarterbacks ain't that gifted in running, but you let Josh Allen run 49 yards on you.
And they weren't catching them.
And they weren't catching them.
It was a lot of defense this weekend. There was not a lot of defense this weekend.
Mafia.
Oh, they're going to be ready. But Kansas City got a fan base too.
But oh yeah, also when we're talking about the weather, I mean, like it's been cold.
What's up, Sadie?
Hey Sadie.
Hey.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. Like it's been cold here. Last couple of days, it's been like in the 20s, and the Texans have been practicing outside, so that way they get used to the weather in Baltimore. Because they're thinking those, oh well, Houston, they're used to playing in the dome and all this other stuff. So it's like now we've been playing in cold weather, so that way the guys get used to it.
All right, man. But Kansas City, man. I don't know how they do it too, man. I don't know. Receiving core, question mark, but they managed to do it, dog. 26-7. Like, yo, I don't know. They embarrassed the Dolphins, man. Like, yo, I don't know how they managed.
Them their negatives will get you. The negative temperatures will get you.
That's true. True. So that's gonna be a good game, man.
And that's the Sunday night game. That's the Sunday 6:30 game.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Yes,
that's perfect.
Yeah, so that's all Buffalo right there, man.
We're gonna take Buffalo. We're gonna ride with Buffalo.
But what's funny though, like Stephen A. Smith and company, they're all like, "Oh man, Pat Mahomes, da 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 da." Like,
yeah, of course.
Yo, he could get it done. He could get it. Yo,
I mean, they're holding Pat Mahomes like Simba, like this is the chosen one for the era.
What was it 2 years ago? 13 seconds.
Jeez,
it was 13 seconds, like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
So
we was holding Mahomes, and we thought Jalen Hurts now we're gonna do it too, but
yeah,
I think, yeah.
What do you guys think in regards to? I don't know if you're following. ESPN is going to take over the NFL Network. Some of the staff, they're going to be, I don't know if they're sharing staff. NFL is going to be investing in ESPN because ESPN is looking for financial investors. So what's at play is the NFL is like, take over NFL Network. And I'm sitting here saying, okay, I hope this doesn't become, I like having Countdown, which I never watch, because I always watch Game Day Morning.
Right.
I watch Good Morning Football, and sometimes I'll turn to Get Up. If we already have Adam Schefter, do we need Ian Rappaport?
No.
I just think when they start talking about stuff like this, hey Rick, how you doing? When they start talking about stuff like this, it means less jobs.
Right.
And I just don't know if that's a good thing or not.
And then also too, time slots.
Right. Because
Yeah. Rick, what's good?
if one channel is taking over the duties of another channel, does that mean they're just going to simulcast it? Like, what does this mean?
To me, it looks like NFL Network is going to work with ESPN. I don't even know if NFL Network is making any money. Who watches that all year is my question.
I mean, I
do watch Game Day Morning on Sundays.
Okay.
I'll watch that.
Because I can't front. I get most of my sports news off of ESPN more than anything.
Yeah.
I get my alerts from everybody, but I get most of my sports news from ESPN primarily.
Good Morning
NFL
Football
Network
is also a good show.
Yeah. NFL Network is good for football, but ESPN covers everything. And everybody was there in the first place. Like I said, I don't even know if NFL Network is even profitable. They don't show any games. That's my biggest disappointment with that channel.
So they're also talking about Red Zone.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't know. It's just like when you tell me anytime there's a merger, there's like a demerger after. And the redundant positions, someone's going to have to get kicked to the side. So two companies merge. You don't need two accounting departments.
No.
You don't need two facilities departments. You don't need two security departments. You don't need two IT departments.
I mean, diversifying funds, working the numbers, changing the name.
What does that mean for investigative journalism?
They better stay with ESPN and stop playing.
However, though, this may work in favor of like Fox Sports.
It may.
So whoever gets let go from either ESPN or NFL, Fox Sports will be like, hey,
come through.
We have more. Yeah, come on in. And then I think like Outkick is on the rise now. Because I think Outkick is starting to cover sports, and I think like Barstool Sports, they want to expand.
Right.
So
I don't know. I just it's because think about it. In the next 5 years, we won't have Paramount Plus, Peacock, Max, and name every other. That stuff is going to start to.
Every time I get tired, you wake me up. Paramount Plus, you don't think you don't have anymore? I will offer you a challenge and mark this. I see Paramount Plus merger with CBS soon.
No, Paramount is CBS.
Yeah.
But will they change their name to CBS?
That's what they're called, Paramount. That CBS falls under that.
Yeah, they're gonna change CBS Plus Watch. They're gonna go CBS
under that umbrella.
It's I don't know. Hey, last thing before we go to Joe, because I know Tony's about to fall out.
Tap out. Well, I swear to God, I'm trying not to tap out. No disrespect. I'm tired. I'm so proud of
Nah. Last thing is, that Peacock game. They said 23 million people watched it. I guess they win.
You want an answer? Can I give you an answer?
Go ahead.
The people that don't have cable that subscribe to the app.
But the funny thing about it was we don't subscribe to the Peacock, but we were able to watch the game on NBC.
Okay.
Regular NBC.
Really?
But me and Ted talked about this.
Wait, no, there was one Peacock game. There was one Peacock game. That was the Patrick Mahomes game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That one was only Peacock.
Okay, yeah. But all the other games we watched on NBC, Fox, and CBS, yeah.
Tony, we've been talking about this for years.
Yes, I told you Peacock. I told you Peacock and Pluto are going to be the channels they're coming to. They already did.
Joe, what we got on the docket?
Y'all need Peacock to sponsor us. What's going on?
Everybody came through. They all came to watch Taylor Swift, man. That's what it was.
Oh,
God.
God.
They were there for Taylor, man. Swifties.
Hey, I do want to say this much as people get so tight about Taylor Swift, people were so open to see Eminem at
the
Lions game.
Yeah.
You see the crowd doing "Lose Yourself"? Yeah.
People were so hyped to see him.
Yeah, man. He's a diehard for his team, man. Like,
he's Detroit.
Yeah.
He's Detroit.
Can't even it. What's happening?
Joe, what we got on the docket?
Yo, man, this weekend, we always got Friday mornings, one Friday for fights. I think we're up to like 48 or 49 right now. Bunch of kickboxing, Muay Thai, traditional kickboxing. Gonna be a real good, fun card. Go check that out in the mornings. That's like 7:30 a.m. Eastern, 4:30 a.m. Pacific time. On YouTube. Check that out. But the weekend, man, the weekend. As you can see behind me here, we got two ladies here. Two ladies. One from England, right here. That is the one young lady by the name of Natasha Jonas, who is 14-2-1. She will be defending her IBF women's female welterweight title against the former title holder in the featherweight division there. Yes, here. One Michaela Mayer, 19-1. Her lone loss coming at Alicia Baumgartner. So she's moving up way here to take this challenge to fight Natasha Jonas. Jonas, who was a former competitor to one Katie Taylor, that's one of her losses. Another one came from a few years back. She's a pretty good boxer. I mean, not that big, nice frame. Fight should be good. It'll be a little bit more the close range style, similar to Katie Taylor versus the range, jab, 1-2 striking, punching capabilities of Michaela Mayer. The co-main on that card though is fire. It's a rematch for the British Commonwealth super middleweight title between Jack Cullen, 22-4 out of England, versus his fellow countryman Zach Chelly, who's 14-2. I recommend before you watch this, if you can watch this on Top Rank, to go and find the first fight between these two. Classic. As I mentioned, is a super middleweight title fight. On top of that, we have Chris Arringstall, who's 2-0. She'll be making her third pro fight here against Lilia Furtado at 126. But the other fight here that's pretty damn good that you should check out is Mark Jeffers, 16-0, undefeated super middleweight, defending his English super middleweight title against Jermaine Brown, who's 13-2. There's a couple other fights on the card as well. They're pretty good. But check this out. This is on BT Sport. You can catch this on Top Rank as well. And in conjunction, working NBC Sport, all that cool, fun stuff. Also, behind me, we have Misfits Boxing. There you go. Misfits Boxing, man. Got their event here. 12. I am not. If you just like watching the celebrities, the internet personalities, the young kids have fun, and your kids enjoy the personalities, and you want them to watch some good boxing, let them watch this. This is for the kids. It's for the younger generation to get them into it. But it's entertaining. It's entertaining when you get a couple of the actual fighter people, and it's cool to see people that never really were ever involved in boxing really go and put the time in to understand the craft, learn the craft, and then go about just boxing pretty much. This is a headline by two young ladies, one by the name of Andrea Jane Bunker versus one other lady by the name of Elle Brooke. And these will be for the Misfits Boxing Middleweight Championship. The rest of these fights, to be honest with you, none of these people really have pro records. They're going to be on there for the entertainment purposes. I like the commentators. There's a cat there. I forget his name. Oh, Wade. He holds a good YouTube channel called the Wade Concept. I like him. He's a good commentator for the team, but he really understands fighting. He understands fighting. Like, he reads things and like he gives you an unbiased opinion on stuff. So you can go check that out. He does a lot for this internet boxing scene thing, this celebrity boxing scene thing. Yeah. I wasted too much time on that already. What we have though is what I'm hyped about. The first UFC pay-per-view of the year behind me. UFC 297. As our champion, Sean Strickland, the guy, right? Hold on. Wait. Jesus Christ, hold on. Okay. The guy on this side. There you go. That's right there. This guy right here, Sean Strickland. He's your current champion. He beat Israel Adesanya. Damn near shutout to win the UFC Undisputed Middleweight title. He's gonna fight this guy over here. This guy, Dricus du Plessis. There you go. The guy who beat the former #1 challenger Robert Whittaker. Yeah. Totally embarrassed that guy. Beat him up. Handled him. South African guy. Currently riding a pretty solid streak. Thank you. What's happening, Carmen? Yeah. So Dricus du Plessis, solid talent. There's nothing crazy about him, but he has a big frame for the division. And since he got his nose fixed, he's been on a tear. As I mentioned, beat Robert Whittaker. Strickland, constant cardio. They're gonna butt heads. They butted heads at the last pay-per-view to end the year in the crowd. There have been words exchanged, a lot of craziness going on between the two. Probably manufactured by Dana White in the UFC. But that's besides the point. It's just all the fight, whatever. But you see these two ladies over here, though. You got one on this side. That's Myra Bueno Silva. She's the #3 in the division, if I remember correctly. Right? Yeah. And the #2 over here, Raquel Pennington. Raquel's a former title challenger. She was on the Ultimate Fighter this season with Miesha Tate and Ronda Rousey. Been in the game for years. Gonna finally get her second opportunity at a title here. Last time she fought. The last time she fought for the title, she fought Amanda Nunes, but she came in, had a horrible. The snowmobile accident happened, so her whole leg got mangled. Then she went in there months later to fight Nunes, and Nunes annihilated her leg. So she's coming here. Good boxing skills, good cardio, good overall skill set. Myra Bueno Silva, she's a pretty good heavy hitter. Nice jiu-jitsu skills. She's moved up from flyweight to bantamweight, and she's on a good streak. She beat Holly Holm. It was her last fight. But she did pop for PEDs, so she was suspended for a while. But she's still going to be here fighting for this title. It just shows you the desperation the UFC's in to get a new women's bantamweight champion, because no more Nunes. Nobody really, everybody's like, what the hell is up with this division?
It's lost its thunder.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sad because this is what's happened. Ronda was the queen. Holly Holm beat her.
Yep.
Holly was the queen.
Misha
Misha
Tate.
Tate beat her. Misha Tate became the it girl. Lost to Amanda Nunes in her first defense. Holly Holm lost to Misha Tate on her first defense. Then it was Amanda Nunes holding the title for as long as she did. Lost to Kenya, and then won in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, because that Holly Holm run for Rousey fight, that was like what, 2017, 2018?
Yep.
Right,
A little bit before that. I think a little bit before that.
Yeah.
A little bit before that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just really shows like only two people held that title for really long, and it was Ronda and then Nunes. Yeah.
Nunes, yeah.
So they need a new star for that division, and it sucks because there's talent, but nobody's really like elevated themselves to the point where it's like, yo, I'm here. Put some shine on me. Let me get these pay-per-view money. You know what I mean? I want pay-per-view points. I want all this cool stuff. So we got to see what's going to happen there, man. Yeah. Other than that, the rest of this card, I can't argue with it. As I mentioned before, a lot of Canadian talent because they're live in Toronto, first time in Toronto in quite a couple of years, and they haven't been in Canada since UFC 289. So that was when Nunes retired pretty much. So the rest of the card is pretty good, pretty solid. As I mentioned, Canadian talents. Chris Curtis fights Marc-Andre Barriault. Neil Magny, who's in the rankings, number 13, fights Mike Malott, who's a trainer in Team Alpha Male, Uriah Faber, and all those cool guys there. And Arnold Allen versus Movsar Evloev start off the main card. Two dark horses in the division. Two guys that nobody else in the division really wants to fight because they're monsters. Arnold Allen is 19-2. Movsar Evloev is undefeated. He's like the featherweight Fedor, pretty much. Doesn't laugh much. He's very quiet. Very skill sets on point, though. Yeah.
Straight business.
But yeah, man. Brad Katona, who just won Tough, he's going to be fine on this card. Our fan favorite Charles Jourdain's going to be on the card as well. There's some ladies on here. Two other ladies are fine on this card. Jillian Robertson, who's out of Canada, Niagara Falls, I remember. And Pauliana Viana, who fight out of Brazil. Yes, that's the sexy lady fight right there. So catch that. And there is one more fight. There is one more fight that happens on and I have to mention this. It's on Tuesday. So if you're an ESPN Plus subscriber, my dude out of Japan, Kenshiro Taraji, will be defending his Ring Magazine, WBC, and WBA Super Flyweight titles against one Carlos Gonzalez. Taraji is 22-1. Super ill flyweight, 32 years old. You've probably seen him in the co-main of the Naoya Inoue cards. He hasn't gotten as much light as Naoya, but he deserves it. Super ill talent of Japan, man. But Carlos Gonzalez is a really, really solid dude. Triple C, man, representing Venezuela. My guy. Real good fight here. There's a couple other talents out of there, Japanese talents you can go check out. Well, that's going to be on the card as well. Tenshin Asakawa, former Rise kickboxing world champion. The guy who got embarrassed on that one Rising card by Floyd Mayweather. You remember?
Oh, God.
The guy who got hit and then super flew across the room?
Yes.
That kid. He comes in here in his third pro boxing fight, to fight Luis Fernando Robles, who's 15-2-1. The Mexican raging, super rager, I should say, will be fighting on this card, man. And that's going to be a super bantamweight fight. So I'm very excited to see Nasukawa. Nasukawa was collecting gold medals and titles and championships all throughout kickboxing. That thing happened. Floyd collected $20 million to embarrass the poor kid. The kid came back in style in his craft. We'll see what goes on from there. There's also a good couple other fights on there as well, but the co-main and the main event are to be paid attention to. As far as Sergio Yuki Akui, who's 18-2-1, he'll be fighting this cat by the name of Artem Dalakian, who's undefeated for the WBA World Flyweight title. Not the super, but the regular WBA World Flyweight title. So that'll be it. That's on ESPN Plus. And according to Japanese time, it will be at 7 o'clock in the morning in the States. So 7 a.m. Eastern, 4 a.m. Pacific. Most likely people will watch this in the afternoon or evening, but that's it pretty much. Oh, yeah. And because Ted will probably ask me, KSW 90s on Saturday. You could check that out. It's actually not a bad card. If you have the time and you got some money to spend, go check it out, man. Arkadiusz Rozek, who's 3-0 out of Poland, will be fighting the Croatian Ivan Vidasovic, who's 12-5. I mentioned out of Croatia, yeah. There's also a good ladies fight there between Ulina Wozniak, who's Poland, 7-2, versus Alexandra Toncheva, who's 5-4-1 out of Bulgaria. There's 2 other fights on this card too. Oh yeah, Islam Jabraliov, there you go. 9-5, fights Alphon Rocher Labez out of France, who's 10-2. And there's one more. What's my one more fight I marked on here that I said you better watch or else? Oh, yeah. Bartosz Fabinski, former Cage Warriors talent, 16-5 out of Poland, will be fighting Laid Zerhouni, who is 11-8 out of France. That's a middleweight fight. Other than that, the rest of the fight should be entertaining. They do the nice little halftime shows somewhat. You know, they get the little ladies out there. They do their little thing. Yeah. Check that out. I'm done.
Quick rebuttal.
Sure.
Saw the Anthony Joshua interview on the MMAHour with Ariel Helwani.
Yes, sir.
He's starting to change me a little bit. He really is. It was a really good interview.
Yeah, man.
And you can kind of understand the psyche of Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn and all the above.
Yeah. It's been a really it's good to see it because it's the maturity. You're seeing the maturity kick in.
Yes.
And Anthony Joshua. Before it was just, I'm going out there, I'm fighting, I'm getting paid, I'm knocking these dudes out, I'm getting the fame. It's all cool. I'm getting hit, I'm losing these fights, I'm looking around. The people that were chilling with me when I was winning aren't with me now because I'm losing.
Yep.
A lot of the fans I had, they doubted me. He's like, at times, even his own people are doubting him, you know, the English, you know, the UK fans. And it really set his mind, you know, like, yo, if I have the time, I got to get these things done while I still got the time. And
I think without a doubt, he would knock Deontay Wilder out.
If
Superman punch.
If that Deontay Wilder that we seen fight, Joseph Parker goes in there fighting Anthony Joshua, I don't know. Deontay Wilder got to find his fire, man. He got to find his fire because that was bad.
Kind of like his last couple of fights have just been like, you're just like, whoa, what's going on here? But at the same time, he's 38.
Yeah, that's what it is. And I tell you, it's the lack of activity from Wilder.
Yes.
Wilder got too comfortable. You know, you fought Fury. You know what I mean? You lost to Fury, but you collected a lot of money off of those fights, and you managed to fight the guy in the division. And I think that got a little bit to his head.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, I fought this guy in a trilogy bouts. I went out there, I smoked this guy. You know, I don't gotta fight like that. But inactivity at that age is not bueno. It's no bueno. No bueno. That's why I give credit to like Luis Ortiz or something like that.
I think it's more like conditioning, keeping yourself in shape. I think like nowadays, I think the work ethic's lacking because I mean, professional Shannon Sharp and Jerry Rice, even though the season's over, they're still training like it's still the season.
Yeah,
I think like a lot of guys, with a lot of guys with the fights, once they're done with the fight and they got that bag, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna chill for 2-3 months, and then all of a sudden I'll get back in there. But then it's like the inconsistency.
that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happens to a lot of guys, especially a lot of guys that make it to the top.
Yeah.
I think even that happened to Joshua, where Joshua was limiting him the time, and he was out there partying and doing the interviews and a lot of the other stuff.
And those
gotta get back to the gym.
Joe doesn't want to mention those hand-picked Eddie Hearn opponents.
Oh God!
Oh, they're pulling a Mayweather.
Oh
yeah, I said it. They
the
pulled a
selected-
Mayweather.
The selected opponents.
It's just like, hey, yeah,
okay, we gotta do it. If we gotta do it, we gotta do it. We gotta keep it 100. Yeah. Yeah.
I think lastly,
Earth like a god. Charles Martin. There you go.
Sean Strickland. I don't know. There was some reporter. He gave some reporter the business. I don't know if this was today or yesterday. You'll see, because I didn't get a chance to watch it. I saw it. It was listed in my things to watch in YouTube, and I didn't get to it. But I just heard he gave some reporter the business.
Probably. What is it, during the press conference?
Yeah,
it could have. Yeah, it's probably during the press conference. Yeah, somebody probably asked him a question. I did not watch the press, and that's one of the reasons why I don't watch the pressers. The pre-pressers, I do not watch the pre-pressers. Certain pre-pressers, I know people ask stupid questions. They ask the media, certain media members ask stupid questions. They don't ask the right questions. And then sometimes you get people that try to be clowns. The fighters themselves, or the media, or just a random fan out there. So one of those people had to ask them a crazy question. And I guess, he definitely did, because I know he did an interview with Megan O'Leary. That was a pretty good interview if you didn't hear it. That was a pretty good one. Him and Dricus Duplessis did one. They each did one. But I think that was probably during the press conference. I'll check that out, though, before I go to bed.
Mike.
Yeah. Mike.
What's going on, Mike? Last thing. Todd Bowles, in his press conference, someone was asking him, I don't know who the reporter was.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I think I did.
Yes. A female reporter. She was asking him about getting prepared to play in Detroit and the frigid weather and everything like this. And he handled it like a G. Like, he didn't embarrass her, but he was just like, yo, you do know they got a dome, right? And when you go into the comments, all you see and hear is DEI, higher. I'm like, come on. Come on.
I've seen that like on a lot of them, man. A lot of the reporters on different sport areas, they would ask some crazy question. He goes, and I could see the person who they're interviewing. They're like, did you not know? Did you not do your homework?
Yeah, I'm like, yo. That joke is as funny as when they asked Mike Tomlin about his coaching, his future, but Tomlin just went,
Yo, he just walked
walked
off.
right
Yo, it's something.
Yo, oh my god.
It is
Yeah.
Some of
something.
these questions, yo, the way that they it's true.
They spend all this money for journalism and
Yeah,
they can't even ask a right question.
It's
exactly.
lazy,
You do no
lazy.
real
Very lazy.
research. You do no real research and no real thinking. Like,
Right.
Yeah. Game face rant.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Oh man.
So that for the most part, that's that. I think we lost Tone. Tone is laid out on the couch,
Sleeping.
probably.
sleeping.
You know what's crazy too?
What?
My friend was talking to me about what is it? Oh, because we was talking about coaches and stuff like that. And he was like, yo, he was getting on Jamel Hill's case because Jamel Hill wasn't fond about the head coach of Detroit. But since they've been winning and they made it this far, she hasn't said anything really. So
Ah.
I was like,
Yo, they were clowning that coach when he first started 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, collectively, this is everyone. Everyone was clowning him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, he was mentioning it. I was like, yo, don't do that. But yeah, he's like, yo, she was talking because of the certain people they hire, and yeah, she was out there, and then he was showing me proof, whatever the interviews are like certain episodes they was talking about it, and then he was like, since they've been winning and all this has gone this season, she hasn't said anything much. She's been quiet.
Quiet. Yeah, I remember he was talking about biting kneecaps off, and he came out there wild billing, and I was like, yo, whose man is this?
That's the type of maniac you need, man. You need a little bit of crazy.
You need that.
Yeah,
you definitely need that. Guys, I think that's about it. Brian, what you got going on this week?
Hopefully get my truck out of the shop and watch the Texans game.
All right. Joe, what we got going on?
Either be trying to watch these football games, watch that UFC. We gotta see how this weather is gonna be though, because they say they got some storm coming over here.
Yeah, there's a storm coming up here by us.
Yeah, man. So I'm really like, we'll see how it plays out.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh my God! What?
Host his own award show.
Yeah, we got I know we got Bell Kings coming up.
Hey, Rick wants to sub in for. He wants to tag in for Tony. I call it the Turi's recorded it tonight. Nice.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
We gotta hear Mike's take about the games.
Yeah,
Word.
man. What else? So I don't know if we're gonna do a Saturday Belt Kings and a Sunday Belt Kings.
I'm down. I mean, like Saturday, like in the morning.
It should be two quick ones because you're only covering 2 games apiece.
Well, I mean, yeah, and also too, the games will start to like what Texans and Ravens. That's not till 3:30 Central.
Oh snap!
Sweet.
Touring the AFC South.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we got to figure out. Either that or just cover all the games in one sitting.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm down for Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we already got our pick solidified, so that way Fireman Rich knows.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Fireman Rich, we'll follow up with him tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it. We're at the 1 hour mark. Want to thank everyone who has been in the chat. Touring AFC South, Rick Costa, Katie, Sweepy,
Word.
Harmon,
Sadie.
and we are out.
Oh,
Thanks
yeah,
again,
man.
guys.
All right.